Welcome back, everyone, to Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Yoseline. Another week of pop culture news, and
Absolutely.
here we are.
And I'm so happy that you all are joining us on this 4th of July weekend. I'm sure you all are out celebrating or maybe at work, but I'm glad you included us in your plans.
Absolutely. We're just happy that there was at least some pop culture we could talk about.
It was kind of difficult this week, but I feel like that's a testament of the fact that maybe more is to come soon.
Everyone behaves on these holidays.
Right?
And
there's going to be, like, obviously a lot of 4th of July gatherings this weekend, so we will be keeping you detailed next week on just how everything played out at that big white party is going to be happening.
Oh, yes. That's
so
a big thing that's grown in the last couple of years.
I'm going to keep my eye on my phone.
Yeah, we usually see the Kardashians there, athletes, a lot of big names in there. Like
Last
even
year
like
was crazy.
businessmen. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. But there were still some celebrity news that happened through the week, and that's what we're here to bring you. As we always say, we're just, off the clock talking about pop culture.
Exactly. But before we get into the lives of celebrities, let's kind of recap you all on how we're doing. Your hosts here, Yoseline.
Yes. It's just been really a interesting weekend at work. Just a lot of people off, and that's kind of what we have to deal with when it's summer
Holiday
vacation
time.
and it's holiday time. But aside from that, I'm going to be that girl who says that it's hot. Like, it's just so hot in Texas.
Absolutely. When I was coming in, I was like rushing because here in the building where our office is, it is always freezing in here. And I look forward to it now. On my drive to work, I'm like, I just need to get into that office and I can finally cool down because it is treacherous outside.
Absolutely. You know what it reminds me of? Like when we used to be reporters, MMJs, and we would have to be out all day in the sun.
I would always get really bad tans because I would always wear my Apple Watch. And so you would always see the band on my hand every summer.
Yeah, I'm just very thankful
that I don't have to do
that. I don't have to do that. Like, so blessed and grateful that I'm now in a position that I don't have to. However, that was also 10 years ago, so.
I know, don't remind me. I'm literally like, every time people ask me how long I've been here, I'm like, let's just not talk about that.
Let's keep the conversation moving. But aside from that, we went to a baseball game on the weekend. It was like a kind of work thing. And then I went to a birthday thing at a bar, which is what Speakeasy, something new in our town, but that's basically it. I really didn't, and I look forward to House of Dragon on Sunday. That's like literally all I look forward to now.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to change your mind because once you start watching Love Island, yes, I'm still going to be on my soapbox about this, but once you start watching that, you're going to be like having something to watch every single day.
That's good. I'm open to that. I'm very much open. How was your weekend and start of the week?
Well, we hung out on Saturday to watch that baseball game. Carlos got the night off, so that was really nice because he rarely has like weekends off. So that was fun. I had Monday off. I was able to do a lot of stuff that had been like pending like crazy. I finally got my car back, got to renew the stickers, submitted my passport application super late, and checked out some new cars because I need a new vehicle. My car is like barely chugging along at this point. 10 years old. It's 10 years old, so.
My car's 10 too.
I feel like your car looks like, it's just because I honestly did not treat my car very well.
I know, you just see Brenda like zooming through Loop 20, just.
I'm just, a speeder. I loved Fast and the Furious as a kid.
That says a lot about you. But anything you're looking forward to this weekend?
Love Island. I'm looking forward to Love Island. Tonight, the new episode that I've been waiting for is coming out. So I'm so excited for that. And also, it's my grandma's birthday. It was yesterday, but it's her birthday. She turned 90 years old. So we're doing by this, I don't know, I doubt she'll be watching this. I don't think she'll watch this, but we're having a surprise party for her on Saturday. So I called her and I'm like, I don't know what the plans are. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Was she sad?
I don't know. I felt like she was kind of like, I don't know what we're going to be doing for my birthday. And I'm like, you don't know. It's going to be a big thing. But
that's so cute.
Yeah.
How many people are going to show up?
As many family members that can come. Some people are coming from out of town. Just everyone. We have a lot of like cousins and uncles and stuff. So it's going to be nice. I'm sure she'll be surprised. Hopefully, I hope that I didn't ruin it.
Is that at a house or at a big
It's going to be at the house because, she wanted to do something more. Well, they know she wants to do something more intimate, so.
Oh my gosh, you need to get a reaction video of her.
I know. It's going to be cute.
That's super cute.
It's going to be cute.
But yeah, aside from that, I think I'm just looking forward to House of Dragon. I have a birthday party this weekend, like the epitome summer party, pool party.
Oh my gosh, I love me a pool party, especially because it's just been so hot. Like, I just want to dip into a pool. I have a pool at home, but it's just like a cube with water in it, so it's not very like enticing.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. But aside from that, I think, you know, it's going to be a pretty calm weekend, just like the celebrity news were, as we kind of mentioned, headlines were kind of slow, but people plan that. I feel like 4th of July is a weekend that a lot of celebrities are like,
let's keep it on the down low.
If you have bad news, this is when you want it or not want it to. No, if you have bad news, this is when you don't want it because no one else is doing anything. So the most minimal thing you would do would be like the headline.
Yeah.
So don't get in trouble, anyone, this weekend.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. But speaking of headlines, let's get into some of the headlines
top
of the week.
Yeah, so let's get through the top headlines that just stories that you need to know happened this
past week.
And if you're a Disney kid, you're probably really excited about this one. So Disney has released a new look at the Wizards of Waverly Place revival as a full series. It has been officially confirmed, which we knew that because it has recorded a pilot episode. It's going to be titled Wizards, and the revival will go in production next month, and it's set to premiere later this year. We are being confirmed that Selena Gomez is set to appear in the first episode. She is an executive producer, but she's just confirming that she's going to be in the first one, which it was kind of, you know, the question was how involved she was going to be, and I think that's enough. Like,
just one episode.
She needs to be like, hey, like, I'm still somewhat of like the spinoff because it's like
part of like, I'm a part of the identity of that story, but she's kind of letting other people kind of take.
It's it's her.
Is it a new cast or is it some of the same people?
It's my understanding that the guy who played her brother, David Henry, he's back and it's his kids.
Oh, that's cute. That's really cute.
And I believe he married a human, so just like their dad, he didn't have any powers.
Okay.
But he has to like accept his powers. I don't know. It's something like to do with that.
Interesting.
Because he used to be in Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie. I believe he became like a professor.
I literally barely watched that show.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie. I didn't really know the backstory of everything. Yeah. But it makes sense that the mom had powers.
Yeah. The mom won't have, or the dad won't have powers. Their dad originally married a human. So he lost his powers.
Oh.
But the storyline is that out of your kids, only one becomes a family wizard and no one else gets powers.
Oh, so Selena Gomez, only one of them became wizard?
Yeah, I believe she did.
Oh. Did not know the plot of this.
But I think she has to give up her powers to her brother, even though he's like, well, I married a human, I can't have powers, to save something. That's what I read. I'm not so sure.
That's crazy.
I'm not so sure.
I thought they were all wizard. Like, I genuinely did not.
They all have wizard powers up to
a certain point.
A certain point, up to your like the final big test, because you and your siblings compete at the end of like your teenage years to see who keeps their powers, and then like the whole family powers go to the one.
That makes so much more sense now. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on in these like movies and stuff.
So that's why they have to go to like school.
That's cool.
Real school, and then they go to wizard school, which their dad trains them, because even though he doesn't have power, he still has knowledge of powers. And then the movies became like the final tests.
See, I just learned something about a show that I thought I understood.
I'm a little too old for it, but I had a younger sister, so it would just be like, that's what we would watch. She was just so obsessed with that.
Was that show around the same time as Hannah Montana?
Like right off the end of Hannah.
Okay, so I think I stopped watching after Hannah Montana, so I don't really think I watched a whole lot of that. I think that makes
I think that was like the plan, that they kind of like were on maybe her last season, their first season, so the people still had
something to gravitate to. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But good so we, it's a new generation of Disney people.
Plot line.
It really is a plot. Someone celebrated a big birthday this weekend. Khloe Kardashian's 40th birthday bash brought all the nostalgia. The Good American founder celebrated the milestone with family and friends at a bash inspired by Dolly Parton's Western-themed Dollywood theme park. Before the event, Chloe shared a video herself getting her glam on, writing on Instagram, "Oh my Dolly, it's time to party."
That looked like a really, I love all the themes that they do for their parties. Like, my favorite one for, like, by far is Courtney's baby shower of the old Disney.
Oh, me too.
They just like are so creative with parties. I absolutely love it. I'm happy for Chloe. I know she's been wanting to turn 40 for like a really long time, right? She's like, this is my settle down era. So it looked like she was having a great time. When you compare like the current show where she's just all mom, and like seeing her like have a fun night out, I'm like, good for you, girl.
And a lot of social media videos, gave us that inside look. Not only did it look super cool, but there were those videos of Kim Kardashian being flipped by a guy named Cade Hudson, which I still don't know who it is. But
a guy named Cade Hudson?
Cade,
Cade Hudson.
I told our friend Chloe, or I'm like, who's Cade Hudson? And she's like, you don't know who Cade Hudson is? I'm like, no, Cade. I don't know who he is. And he was just like grabbing Kimberly and just flipping
Apparently
her.
she forgot that she got flipped. I read that somewhere.
Blacked out, I'm not going to lie. She looks very blacked out, but aside from that, I wish I was invited. It looks super fun.
Me too. I love Chloe. Chloe's one of my favorite sisters, so.
And also this weekend, we had some big news for music. We had Camila Cabello's album drop, CXOXO, which I'm not a Camila fan.
I've never really been a Camila fan. I try to give it a shot. I listened to a good chunk of the album. I'm not gonna like give my opinion because I feel like if I give my opinion too early, I'm not giving it a chance. So I'm trying to give it a chance, but it's very different from her previous work.
Really? Okay.
It's kind of like a mix. Like it's like, I think she's trying to go for that hyper pop Charlie XCX kind of vibe, and then she has some songs that are more slowed down. So I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to try to give that one a listen because it can surprise you. Like Gracie Abrams' album is now growing on me.
Okay.
It's a grower, so.
It's a grower.
Who knows?
And then it's also this past weekend, SZA, not only did she sing as a headliner for the BST Hyde Park in London and Glastonbury back to back, but she also announced a new album is headed our way soon, which I know you were very excited about that. You're the one who brought this story to my desk. And
I'm excited because her last album was great. Her EP was great. And so I feel like it's actually a lot sooner than I thought it would be because she really takes times between albums. But hey, I'm here for it.
I knew who she was, but I really didn't listen to her stuff.
You should. I feel like you would like it. Her
last one was really good.
Yeah.
Like all the singles, I jumped on them, and I was just like, yes. But you know who's also making the headlines? Suki Waterhouse, and it's not for her music.
Ooh.
She's actually opening up about the isolation and disorientating aftermath of her breakup with Bradley Cooper. Although it has been nearly 10 years since the pair called it quits in 2015, following a 2-year romance, Waterhouse shared in a cover story interview with British Vogue's August issue that the split was anything but easy. And she kind of like goes into how she doesn't regret anything, but it was just so different. She was in her 20s.
It was a crazy age gap, yeah.
And he was in his late 30s.
I will never forget the image of them in, like, I think they were in New York at a park and they're reading the book Lolita together. And it's just like the age gap, like everything. It was just so bizarre. I don't know. I feel like, wasn't that the time where he was... Yeah, I think he was doing a lot of movies with Jennifer Lawrence, and I feel like anytime you go to a award show, you would see his eyes light up for Jennifer Lawrence, and I would always feel bad for Suki Waterhouse because she was just on the side.
She wasn't. I think she was so overshadowed by his stardom of like, oh, that's just his girlfriend, his wife, and now she's actually made a name for herself.
Great singer, great actress.
So I'm so happy that she has the space now
and
to
she's
talk.
with Robert Pattinson. What a catch. She has Edward, guys.
You know, if there's one way to be like, hey, I could do so much better after a breakup.
Get Robert Pattinson. They have a kid together. Like, what a cute family. Like, I'm obsessed with them.
It's just a hype of like him being in Twilight that just makes him so
I just feel like they're so they when they got together, I was like, that makes so much sense, and I'm glad that they are still together.
Yeah,
so
they are
good for
together.
them.
They just brought a baby.
Yeah.
I was gonna say baby.
A baby.
So new romance alert or just friends? Gracie Abrams has was spotted rather enjoying a meal and looking cozy with Paul Mescal while in London.
So with her new album, a lot of people were speculating that it was about Paul Mescal. So those pictures, I don't know if they have like a long-term kind of like fling going on, or if they just recently started this relationship, because they've had pictures. Exactly. So I'm like, yay, if this confirms that this album is about him. I feel like that makes so much sense. But I feel like Paul Mescal will forever be in love with Daisy Edgar Jones. I feel like he will forever hold a candle for her, because the way he looks at her, like, I just feel like no one will ever amount to that. And I'm like, just be together. What's the problem?
So either the album is about him and he doesn't know it, because I feel like if this album came out and you know it's about you, why would you be seeing?
Exactly.
You know, and it's not in the best light he's in the album. It's more of like this like back and forth relationship of like, do you like me? Do we don't? You're just using me, but I like you. Do you?
That's why I question whether it is about him, because it's like, why would you publicly still be attached to him if you're writing about this?
I think why would Paul still be seen with her?
Yeah, true. True.
But I don't know. We'll keep an eye on these. I don't know her age or his age.
I think
Does it seem
in the song she
age-appropriate?
said she's 24, but I don't know if maybe at this point she's 25 or something. I think he's in his early 30s, possibly, or maybe late 20s, around that age.
Well, another couple spotted last Friday. Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet were seen together in public for the first time in months, just reassuring fans that the relationship is still going strong, and I'm happy to hear that.
I love the Kylie era with Timothy Chalamet. I feel like she's just so much lighter. Even you can see in like the show, her personality is like back to old Kylie. So I love to see it. I think that they are a cute pairing. So yeah, good for them.
Me too. We have some reality star drama. So Nick Viall has something to say to online haters and Reddit trolls. The former Bachelor addressed Reddit speculations that his now wife, Natalie Joy, cheated on him shortly after they got engaged. Well, on Tuesday's episode of the Lady Game podcast, he commented basically saying that he's aware of rumors, but him and his wife don't pay attention to them because he can't be consumed. He didn't really address it, but I think that was definitely a slide to that. Just being like,
we kind of told you all about it a couple episodes ago, where there's just like speculation that when she got engaged with Nick, that she was actively cheating on him with somebody that was in a relationship, and that she revealed this to her friends in Paris, and then they, after the trip, stopped following them. And apparently like one of the moms of the friends that unfollowed her threw her the engagement party and then deleted all of the photos from her social media after that trip. So when there's smoke, there's fire. But I mean, they're living their lives. It's a while ago if he's over it.
Yes.
But I think the criticism is that they're always judging other people's relationships.
Yeah,
I think that's why people were upset.
Yeah,
with
which I see that. Another reality headline, which I'm going to let you talk about it, Brenda, is the Bachelorette, Maria and Jen.
Yeah, so Jen Tran, and next week is the premiere of Jen Tran's Bachelorette season, so we will be recapping that for you guys next week. But in promotion of this season, she did an interview with Call Her Daddy, and Alex Cooper basically asked her about the rumors regarding the fact that she wasn't the first choice, that she was kind of like the last pick when it comes to Daisy and Maria, who was a fan favorite of the show. And Maria had actually done a podcast with Call Her Daddy not too long ago, prior to Jen Trans, where she explained that she was one of the main people, but decided not to do it after all, and then Jen got it. Jen basically explained during the Call Her Daddy episode that a lot of what is out there isn't true, that everybody is in the running for it, and you don't really know if you're going to get it until they give it to you. So a lot of people were speculating whether that was kind of a dig towards like Maria and her comments over the whole situation. Well, Maria ended up unfollowing Jen immediately after, not immediately after, but after that episode aired. So a lot of people are trying to connect the dots of that drama. So we'll see. They were really close in the house, Jen and Maria, so
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see with her. You know, she's going to do more promo.
She said her season is going to have an interesting ending, so we'll see how that goes.
It's either yes or no. You end up with someone. And I do apologize if someone heard me touching my mic. Well, the last headline we have is that there might be a new Barbenheimer in town, as two other highly anticipated blockbusters, Wicked and Gladiator 2, are scheduled to premiere on the same day, which is November 22nd. Wicked actually moved up their premiere date, causing that little conflict
I'm
there.
so excited for Wicked.
And I'm so excited for Wicked. I'm so excited for Gladiator. So I feel like that weekend is just made for me.
I am Gladiator, I don't really remember the original. I remember my parents really loved it.
Yeah, oh my God, I remember my dad buying the
it.
DVD, but I don't think I ever watched it completely, but I know I always
But it has the two P's. It has Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal, so I'm so excited for them to be in that movie. And guys, I just love musical movies.
Me too.
And Wicked just looks so epic. It looks like it's going to be like a cinematic
masterpiece.
Exactly.
And it better be, because they have hyped it up for so long. These roles were the most coveted. I'm talking Ariana Grande was dying to have it, had to audition several times. It wasn't
the little clips that they showed brought me to tears.
Oh,
a little behind the scenes of her getting it. I was like,
it's just talk about the world's #1 pop star. And it's a role that she knows that she might not get because her stardom can't buy it for her. That's how big it is.
And I'm excited to see how Cynthia Erivo pulls off just this iconic role. I mean, Idina Menzel, or what does John Travolta call her? I forgot what it was, but she is the most amazing Elphaba ever. So I'm excited to see how Cynthia does. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be a masterpiece. We have Jonathan Bailey,
I love that boy.
And the director, John Chu, I believe, he's a great director. So I really feel like it has all the makings for a potentially great movie.
No, yeah.
So fingers crossed.
And I think it's gonna be split in 2 parts, though.
It is.
For a year, 1 year later, the second part will air.
I hope so, because they shot it all at once, so it shouldn't be they have to come back and do it a longer process. I hope not. I hate that.
I know, maybe winter summer release.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
But for me, holidays and movie theaters, I love going to the movie theater. So and by the way, this summer has kind of been lackluster. There's no good movie. The only one that I keep thinking is Twister in a week.
Twisters. Yeah, I'm excited to.
But summer's ending already.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything epic. There's no more Marvel movies kind of really taking over that. Or no, the movie that's coming out is what's it called, with Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think that's in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that and Twisters are probably the only movies that come to mind.
I think Twister is kind of where it's gonna pick up back again.
Yeah.
But I'm a theater girly. Give me a movie club membership, and I'll be there every week.
Did you watch the Movie Pass documentary?
No.
Did you ever get a Movie Pass? It was those little cards where you would pay a prescription and then it would load it up. You'd get as many movies free for whatever. And you would go to the movie. There's a documentary. It's really good. It's on HBO. If you ever got a Movie Pass, I highly recommend doing that.
But there just hasn't been any good movies that I want to. But it makes me.
Did you watch Inside Out 2?
No, because I've never watched it.
You never watched part 1? Okay, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I know. That's on me, okay? That one's on me. But let's go now to our top headlines. These are the top 3 stories that we really want to
dig deep into.
Dig very deep. And we're going to start off with, of course, Travis Kelce addressing his performance on the Eras tour. Well, Travis Kelce is finally opening up about his surprise appearance at Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert at Wembley Stadium. The football star shocked and delighted Swifties by joining his girlfriend on stage during the I Can Do It with a Broken Heart transition of the London show. On the latest episode of the New Heights podcast, Kelce revealed that he was the mastermind behind the live cameo. This is a quote. I initially mentioned it to Tay. I was like, how funny would it be if I just rolled on one of the bikes during the 1989 era? Swift apparently asked Kelce if he was serious and about joining her on stage, to which he responded, "What? I would love to do that. Are you kidding me? I've seen the show enough. Might as well put me into work." And he goes on to say that she came up with the idea as to where in the transition he was going to be. And that he was like, I just knew, like, I was in good hands with Taylor and the two dancers, and his one goal was just don't drop the baby. When he said that, I'm like, don't drop the baby. Which, first of all, how could he? He's huge.
I know, like, he can literally push men down to the ground.
So I think she's good, but it was just so cute. Okay, this is my thing. I'm not surprised it was like his idea, but I was hoping it was her idea, just because of the whole, like, you also like attention a lot, like, to the point where I don't want her to get the ick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
be like, you really want to be on
like
the stage with me? No, I feel like maybe I don't know if she ever maybe it crossed her mind to have him there, but didn't want to like pressure him too much. Like, I don't want you to feel like you have to like do something like this.
But we're also like, is she like that? We never know if
she is like on a personal level, because
her relationships have been so hush hush.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it have come from the other end, and she's just a good, like, not, I don't want to say she compromises with that. Like, she has no issue. Like, if you want to be private, I could be private. But what is she really like? And the fact that she's, like, willing to do this kind of stuff, I think she's just either always been like that and no one really, like, allowed her to be like that, or she's just older and doesn't care anymore.
I think she's older and just doesn't care. I mean, this is finally the first relationship in which the man is just all about showing to the world how much he cares about this person. I know it kind of just brings to the thing, like, does he like the attention of having that title of Taylor Swift's boyfriend? But I feel like in his own right, to the sports world, he is his own standalone person. And it's like two people that can stand alone in their own respective like careers and still come together and be like powerful as a couple.
Yeah, so I'm glad he did. Thank God he has this podcast. Like,
I know.
I am so thankful for that.
And even during his podcast, there were some moments where he was looking off and people were questioning whether Taylor was there. But I feel like she loves that he is just so open. I feel like this is the first time people really get to know the inner personal relationships with the partner, and he's like okay with talking about it, and she's okay with him talking about it, which is nice to see. But aside from that, I mean, it was a really like Travis Kelce type weekend. He talked about that incident in which it was in the London concerts this past weekend. She was in Ireland, and so then it brought into this whole new drama with the social media page Dumois, in which they made a post. It was a shot of inside the car. The security guard was driving, and you just see a guy hunched over, and then they just have an arrow that points to like Travis Kelce. And the headline was basically saying that Travis had a boys' night out with Tristan Thompson, Leonardo DiCaprio. There were some girls seen hanging out there, whatever.
Absolutely not.
And a lot of people are calling out Dumois because there was a lot of picture proof of Travis that same night at a friend's wedding. A lot of pictures, a lot of videos of him there, and then he directly flew to Ireland to surprise Taylor, and you kind of see this clip of her during August kind of see him in the tent. So a lot of people are calling out this. So I honestly, like, Dumois has been kind of just questionable to me because I've heard a lot about like the inner workings of Dumois and how it's not really like as accurate as people think it is. But I'm like literally calling out a man when there's a whole bunch of picture proof, and they still have the post there. Like, there's no accountability of being like, guys, we're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's in two places at once. I don't know, or maybe it was from a previous night, but it's just kind of
out there. But aside from that, like Travis, I saw the clip when he shows up in Dublin, and people are saying that he surprised her. You think he did surprise her?
I don't know.
I think so.
But I'm like,
actually.
that's.
But how do we know? I'm like, I feel like it adds up. Like, he showed up past halfway of the show. If he showed up during August, towards the latter end, and then she looks over there, and she just seems like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do we know it's a surprise?
How do you feel about that clip of Julia Roberts like rubbing his like, or like I don't know what she's doing.
I don't think it's weird, yes, but I feel like I know people like that, especially like older ladies that are just like so excited to be like, oh my God, like, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think she was flirting with him.
No.
Like, is it weird? Yes. I think maybe for all we know, she's close to Taylor. Like
really, really close to
that where
her.
she's just like, I'm finally meeting my girls. Like, not even my girl, but like a niece, like,
Yeah.
you know. I thought it was weird. But I didn't think too. I don't think Julia Roberts is trying to steal.
Oh no, she's not Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, but who else was there that weekend? Oh, Stevie Nicks.
Oh yeah, Stevie
Right,
Nicks, where she sang Clara Bow. Well, she didn't sing Clara Bow, but Taylor sang Clara Bow while Stevie Nicks was there.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, she did, but you meant Stevie Nicks, yeah. And I think that's it. Nothing too
nothing too crazy
from the Travis and
Taylor show.
Taylor
that continues.
But another big talked about story was Olivia Culpo's wedding with Christian McCaffrey. And there's a lot of drama surrounding her wedding dress, which is so interesting.
Gosh, yeah.
We talked about it. I like the whole theme of the Rhode Island theme of the wedding. The dress, I think it's pretty, but not my choice. I'm just like, okay, nice, cool. But it kind of like took it up a notch when an influencer posted a video kind of talking bad about the wedding, specifically the wedding dress. So Christian and Olivia have now commented on this video. So let me just pick it up from there. Christian McCaffrey is standing up for his wife, Olivia Culpo. Days after the two walked down the aisle, the NFL star firmly defended his new wife's decision to wear a modest full coverage Dolce & Gabbana crepe ball gown during their Saturday ceremony after a stylist harshly criticized the look in a video posted on Instagram and TikTok. The video begins with stylist Kennedy Bingham describing the bride's wedding day as nothing, quote, and the absence of personality. I don't... Okay.
I'm like, people are too harsh. Like, it's the girl's wedding. Let her do what she wants. Was I a fan of the dress? Personally, not. It's like summer and you're wearing like a long sleeve, like heavy dress. But hey, if that's what you want, pop off.
Yeah. I know in the video, she kind of went more into detail about this specific Vogue article quote of the thing that she said. Yeah. Olivia said that she didn't want the dress to exude sexy, that she wanted it to represent how serious she is about the commitment, which to each their own. I don't think Olivia said because sexy dresses are ugly or don't mean that you're not serious.
She's not commenting on other people and how they should look. It was more internalized, like, I want to look this certain way. She said, I wanted to have coverage. And he even said that in that Vogue thing. He was like, Chris McCaffrey said that he really likes it when she's more like kind of modest, covered. And a lot of people are pointing to the word covered. Like, why do you want to cover up that much? Why are you... The Instagram influencer that said you're pushing this conservative agenda, which I'm like, relax.
I don't think it's like relaxed. Did you see her
deep.
Party dress?
Yeah,
it's just literally like in little undies.
Yeah,
like...
it's not that deep, guys. But I mean, she also, Olivia said that when she saw the dress, it was like the first dress she ever saw. That it was like, this is so unique. I don't think that's a unique dress. I mean, I can literally see that stuff anywhere.
I just don't think it's that deep. And two things. Was she like ugly for posting this? Absolutely. But like Christian and Olivia, like,
just get over it. Yeah. Like, I mean, people are going to say what they want to say. I mean, including us. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just comments. I mean, you already lived through the day. It was a great day for you guys. Like, don't think about the trolls.
The only thing I think it's really funny, which is just like my archiving like things. The Twitter girl, the influencer, called it the absence of personality. So a long time ago, I don't know how I know this, Demi Lovato was when she was really, really close to Nick Jonas. Nick Jonas used to date Olivia Culpo. When I don't know, they were really close. Someone brought up in an interview, they brought up the Olivia breakup, which I believe it was recent, and they were doing press together because they went on tour together. And he was like, oh, you know, like the whole PR response. But she's like, no, I'm glad you guys broke up because she had no personality. And the fact that like this girl said the absence of just like triggered that memory from like the early 2000s of my.
I know a lot of people were keeping an eye on this wedding because Olivia Culpo is like an influencer. But for me, like, I've never been like, Olivia Culpo's style or her aesthetic has never been appealing to me. I think it's kind of like everybody else.
I think she's really good at the influencer game, especially when she became his girlfriend. She was one of the first ones that started the game day.
Get ready with me.
But like, yeah, get ready with me for game day. But it was like runway, like nice heels and all this. She was one of the first one, and it kind of picked up from there. And of course, if you like pageants, she was Miss Universe, and she's been in the game. She was Nick Jonas's like
girlfriend for
Jealous,
a big while.
Is inspired by her. So can you?
I think it was a beautiful wedding. The bridesmaids' dresses, like there was a picture of her with her sisters, and yeah, it didn't look like they were in the same event.
Yeah, they looked a little bit more
like different. But also there was the whole thing where they have a podcast, Olivia Culpo and her sisters have a podcast in which they talk about their lives, and it was prior to the wedding that they kind of like had a little bicker banter where Aurora was like not allowed to invite her boyfriend,
which is Bethany Frankel's ex-fiance, which is Peter Burden or something like that. You named him. It was that name.
Okay.
But he was just there that weekend, and he wasn't actually able to attend the actual wedding. But
he went to the rehearsal dinner.
And just like the pre thing.
Which is kind of awkward. I mean, I would feel weird like going to the pre stuff and then like, what, do you have to just chill at the hotel while everyone's having a great time downstairs?
Did he get, I'm pretty sure he like snuck him into the party.
Yeah.
Or definitely the after party.
I think that at that point Olivia was like, all right, do whatever you want.
And then our last big headline that we're covering is going to be the Glastonbury Festival, which is a big festival that happens every year. Brenda and I were kind of talking about how it's so different from Coachella because it's super iconic sets from different bands from all over the world, but then it also allows a lot of the same bands that are performing to just roam around and party with the people. I
love Glastonbury.
I just don't think people could do that in Coachella. Like you wouldn't see.
I feel like Glastonbury is like a chiller because it's like more of a UK type event where it's always muddy. Like that's what I like. I equate Glastonbury to mud. Because you're always seeing girls with those Hunter boots.
Yes.
That Hunter even does like a lot of social media things there because that's like the boot of the festival. But a lot of people like also equate it with like Kate Moss. I mean, like festival style, people always think of like Kate Moss at Glastonbury. And it's just a very chill thing. Dua Lipa was one of the headliners, and you kind of see her walking around with her boyfriend, Callum. Is it Callum Tatum?
I think so.
Callum Tatum.
So just going off of that, one of the major, sets came from Dua Lipa. Camila Cabello was there, which I saw a lot of TikToks of Camila that people were just like not engaged. Did you see that one?
Yeah, it's because she has like a set where she's on a kind of merry-go-round, but she's just interacting with the camera, not really with the audience. So people are like, are you here for the camera or are you here for the audience right now?
I think in Coachella, that's what it's all about, because in Coachella, you just need people are live streaming it and you want that camera engagement. But for their Glastonbury, not really.
I forget, does Glastonbury, I don't even know if Glastonbury stream. So it's just like awkward. I don't know if she's like shooting a music video or something.
Yeah, possibly. And then she also had a part in her dance that her dancers came out with popsicles, like ice popsicles, and just like were doing it on her body. And I'm just like,
I just don't understand. I feel like I don't want to talk badly about Camila Cabello because I think that she is a sweet person, but like I think she's trying too hard with this aesthetic.
With the aesthetic,
to like this persona for her character in this album now.
It's the blonde for me.
It's a little too much, but Glastonbury. A lot of celebrities also. There's other people that were performing.
Yeah, Coldplay. So Coldplay was one of the big moments because Coldplay Play brought out Michael J. Fox, star of Back to the Future, to play guitar on Humankind and Fix You. Back to the Future is the main reason we became a band, said Chris Martin, as the crowd went
sweet.
wild.
That's sweet.
And of course, Michael J. Fox then took a picture of him on stage and posted on Instagram saying that, like, I'm just like summarizing here. He basically said, I've had such a wonderful life, and I already thought I have lived majority of my life, but I never thought like Coldplay could give me
like
that one more thing to add to my
stage.
big list of like, I can't believe I did that. So yeah, I feel like Glastonbury, if you're a festival person,
I would love to
it
go to
needs to be on
Glastonbury.
your
Yeah, I
list.
would love to do that. Aside from that, at the Coldplay concert, there was Chris Martin's fiance, Dakota Johnson, and she was hanging out with his kids there.
Oh, really?
She was hanging out with the kids there. I mean, they're older now. Like,
Yeah,
they're like
Apple's
in their late teens, so it makes sense that they would show up. But yeah, there was like some different pictures. I know Florence Pugh was there. She did kind of like a Q&A set type thing. And then Paul Mescal was there, where there was like a picture or video of him like doing a bump of some substance out there. So everyone was out. Every British person you can think of was at that festival.
Yes, but now let's recap our episode of the week, which is House of
the
Dragon. I was about to say
Dragon.
Game of Thrones. House of Dragon. We're on
I
episode
still
3.
call it Game of Thrones.
It was like an hour and 20-minute episode, which thank you creators to that. There was just a lot going on. Even though I was a defender of episode 2, I thought episode 2 was still good. A lot of people are like, nothing really happened. This one
was better.
Really set up the tension that's coming up, you know? It set up that all these other houses and families are now standing with either the king or the queen, and it's causing drama or conflicts between the simple, you know, families. Like, if your neighbor is all for the queen, you're about to be beheaded.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. It also leads into Rhaenyra's move to protect her youngest kids and to protect the eggs,
which is kind of like a little Easter egg to Game of Thrones, because you see, I believe it's those eggs that they put in there were the ones that Daenerys ends up getting in her wedding with
which is really like, now
isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it's super crazy because it's 200 years apart.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, like,
who had these eggs at this point?
And how were they conserved for 200 years?
Yeah.
Because I know one of them does hatch, and then, I don't want to ruin it, but someone does become the writer for it, and they're known as one of the last dragon writers before all the dragons disappear, which makes me believe, I'm pretty sure the season or the series might end of like the egg, like the hiding of the eggs or the conserving of the eggs. That's the only way we could see.
That's like the most probably eloquent way they could end that series, is being like, all right, now you already know where the rest of the story ends from this point.
There's apparently, not going off topic, but there's another spin-off being shot, and it's about two people that I don't think there are any direct correlation to Targaryen, but it's 100 years after this storyline and 100 years
prior
Game of Thrones. So it's right in the middle, and it's about two guys, and they do some stuff.
Maybe it'll kind of explain the chain of command at that point for the eggs or something.
So I was looking through, like, my nerdy self, like a long list of like how many kings between Rhaenyra or Aegon, who become the current rulers until Daenerys.
Until the Daenerys era.
It's 10 kings, 11 kings
10
rule.
Kings.
And I'm just like, we have a long ways to go if we're going to be
I'm so curious if they're going to go forward with that Jon Snow spinoff. I mean,
I don't think so.
I feel like he's kind of lost his edge at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of an afterthought at this point, but I would have loved that in that moment if it would have been done.
I don't think it'll happen.
But the end of the episode was, you know, kind of the best part of the whole show. It was the most frustrating part. So basically, Rhaenyra is trying her best to get to Alicent to kind of squash things before they have to bring out the dragon. She's like, before we do this, let me just try to talk to my girl. So she goes, finds a way to get into King's Landing.
All the memes are so funny.
I know. She finds a way to get to King's Landing, and when she's there, she tracks down Alicent at her little prayer circle that she's typically at, and she kind of lays it down for her. She's like, okay, tell me why this is happening right now. Tell me why you decided to besmirch my throne.
Because you knew what my father wanted.
Exactly. She was like, my dad was very adamant about the fact that he wanted me to be queen. Like, what happened? Why did this happen? This is the first conversation they have since all of that took place. And Allison, she's like, oh yeah, well, he said the name Aegon and that he was the chosen child.
The promised prince.
The promised prince. And she's like, hold up a second. What did you just say?
And she's like, yeah, that's what he said. She's like, that's a story. That's like a folklore. Like, that is.
And then Allison's just like, oh.
Well, okay, well, bye.
Or she's like, all right, well, I mean, what can I do now? I mean, it is what it is.
And it's so true. She's just like,
she caused the whole issue.
Aemon is who he is. Aegon is this. Like, blah, blah, blah. It's true. Like, there's no way going back without her looking dumb.
Especially with Otto out of the picture.
Oh, that's what he says.
Aegon is like a free ride. That guy is like, has a mind of his own. I mean, we've already seen how Kristen Cole is just like a terrible leader and doing a terrible job.
Don't even get me started.
So yeah, I mean, Alicent came to realize that she is the reason why this war is going on. So
she realized that. At least she gets to go to bed and know
be
that
like,
she caused this.
Damn, I caused this.
So, okay, the other question is that Alicent did send that raven with the note to Rhaenyra for a really long time. She never wanted to open it until now. Do you think if she would have opened it and like felt her message and been like, okay, let's meet, I think we could have prevented a lot of things.
This show should be called Miscommunication, because if only these people would have communicated to begin with, maybe this would have all been avoided, and maybe this universe would have still had dragons roaming around and the Targaryen line perfect and well. But no, they just miscommunicated and
I always forget his name. Corlyle, the king of the sea.
Oh. Corlys, Lord Corlys.
Of Lyron, or I don't know, Valerian. So I don't know if you guys caught it, but
he started setting up.
He started setting up what I kind of spoiled last week.
I told Carlos, and he's like, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. So he kind of did, set up that thing where he's now questioning who does he leave his throne to, his home, his title, because the only people he has left is the youngest of Rhaenyra, his grandbaby, who's 6 years old, or Rhea, who does not have a dragon and she doesn't know anything about ships. So he starts telling his wife, like, we're about to start a war. I might die out there. Who do I leave all my stuff to? And she's just like, well, who else were you? A lot of things I read, I don't know if they're going to follow along with this. His wife does not know.
That makes 1,000% sense.
She does not know that he has Rhaenys does not know that he has bastard children.
She is like so in love with him. Like she is so
she went to take
in love with him. Yeah, like she was like having lunch breaks with him. That's why I'm not surprised that she is unaware of this. I feel like it's going to cause a really big drama when it's revealed. He's going to be like, look, I know I cheated on you, but I need to keep my lineage strong, so you got to deal with it.
You got to deal with it. These guys need to take over, which just happened to be that his bastard kids are like one of the best sailors or whatever
He's like,
call.
They're good at what they do, so we got to bring them in.
But yeah, that's kind of a recap. I'm excited for Daemon and the girl.
Oh yeah, Harrenhal. I was just like, I love how he's just like, all right, I'm taking over, and they're like, please go ahead.
I was laughing so hard when they're like that clubfoot person. I was just like, who are they talking about?
Hilarious.
Yeah. And I forgot he caused the death of his brother and father.
They're like, never in our literally millions of years of existence has there been a fire, and then all of a sudden there's a fire like that kills like
our main guy.
Our main guys, like, we're not going to stick with those people. So Daemon basically takes over Harrenhal, which is the main hold that people are trying to get to because it covers the Riverlands, I believe. So that's like a huge section that they need to have for war.
And then we see the girl there, I forgot her name, which I looked it up afterwards. I thought she gives Daemon those visions, those really weird visions, and he ends up at that tree.
Oh, yeah, I was really confused by that.
I thought she was the lady in the red in Game of Thrones. I thought it was her because if you look at the timeline, the lady in the red, she's old enough to be in this story too. She's like 200 or 300 years old in Game of Thrones, and this is 200 years before it. But it's not her. But it's someone with similar powers.
Oh, maybe they start like forming at this age, at this decade of time.
So, but yeah, that's kind of a recap. And again,
and they're gonna bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. Yeah, the dragons are coming out this coming weekend, so we'll see how that pans out for them.
And as you've heard, this is all I'm looking forward to for Sunday. So be excited.
And I'm looking forward to Love Island, so it'll be a fun weekend for us both.
Absolutely. But just be sure to follow us on social media. We have Pop Off the Clock on Instagram. You could follow us there. And we mentioned it yesterday, but we are now on Spotify. Our episodes are getting uploaded there. You can find that link also on Instagram. Possibly. I'll make sure it's there by the time this airs. We're just excited to make it easier for you guys to listen, so be sure to follow us.
So you can listen to us on the go, you can watch us, just hear us, whatever you prefer. So.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to hear our voices?
I know, right? We have such lovely voices. All right, guys. Well, I hope you all have a great 4th of July weekend. We'll see you back next time.
Right. Bye.